Spiky-haired action heroes, magic-wielding schoolgirls, dark fairy tales. If you can imagine it, there's probably an anime about it. That's the good news. The bad? With so much anime out there, it can be hard to pinpoint the movies you're really interested in. Well, you can start by checking out these hidden gems, which span a wide variety of genres. Fans who are deep into the anime scene have probably heard of or seen most of those before. But if you're a newcomer who's wondering what all the fuss is about, this is an excellent place to start. Here's what you need to know before watching Inuyasha the movie. This isn't where the story begins. Like many anime feature films, it's a spin-off of a popular anime series, which is itself based on a long-running manga. Thankfully, Inuyasha the movie does spend a little bit of time catching you up. Basically, Inuyasha is the story of a high school student named Kagome who falls down a well and travels 500 years into the past, where she teams up with a half-dog, half-humanoid demon named Inuyasha to track down pieces of a magic jewel. In Inuyasha the movie, one of the jewel fragments revives a demon that Inuyasha's father defeated years ago, forcing Inuyasha to confront his family's legacy and prove that he's every bit the monster fighter his old man was. In terms of the overall Inuyasha story, the movie is more of a diversion, but it's a pretty good indicator of what the show is like. If you dig Inuyasha the movie, don't despair when the credits begin to roll. There's plenty more Inuyasha out there. Hold on to something because it'll suck you in before you know it. Violet Evergarden is many things. She's a combat veteran who is known during the war as a formidable fighter. She's an adopted member of the Evergarden family, which took her in after the war ended. Finally, she's an auto-memory doll who works for the CH Postal Company, meaning that she's basically a ghostwriter who helps pen letters for people who can't write or who have problems expressing themselves. A tricky job given that Violet's military training makes it difficult for her to relate to others on a basic emotional level. In Eternity and the Auto-Memory Doll, the first feature film spin-off of the Violet Evergarden anime series, Violet adds another title to the list, Teacher. See, Isabella, the heir to the York family's fortune, is having trouble. She doesn't fit in at the private girls' school she attends, and she isn't interested in the customs and routines that go hand in hand with being a member of the upper class. Eternity and the Auto-Memory Doll is a side story in the overall Violet Evergarden saga, but it still tackles some of the heady themes, including grief, classism, and gender roles. If The Garden of Words feels like a personal story, there's a very good reason. The movie isn't exactly a one-man show, but it definitely wouldn't have been made without Makoto Shinkai. The filmmaker who helmed 2016's international hit Your Name didn't just direct the movie, he also wrote it, edited it, composed its storyboards, drew the key animation frames, and did all of the compositing. You wouldn't know it from watching though. Like all of Shinkai's other movies, The Garden of Words features lush and detailed backgrounds, simple but realistic characters, and an innovative color scheme that makes the animation pop. In fact, the only hint that The Garden of Words was just a small production is its length. At only 46 minutes long, it barely qualifies as a movie, although that didn't stop it from getting a theatrical release, a number of awards, and a stage play adaptation. Besides, The Garden of Words is a small story about a relationship between two people, a 15-year-old would-be cobbler and a mysterious older woman who spend one special summer meeting each other in the park whenever it rains. Love, heartbreak, and a curiously intimate friendship follow. The Garden of Words is a lovely little film. Given its runtime, it's more than worth a shot. We didn't really need another version of Blame. For one, we already have Tsutomu Nihei's original manga, which tells the story of a nomad who searches an ever-expanding technological dystopia called The City in search of a way to shut down the Safeguard, a security program that hunts down the city's human inhabitants. On top of the main manga, we also have a spin-off manga, a web series, and 2 short sequels. In fact, the Blame movie wouldn't exist at all if it weren't for a very meta joke in Knights of Sidonia, an anime based on a later Nihei production. In the second season of Knights of Sidonia, Blame's lead character makes a brief appearance as the star of an anime that Knights of Sidonia's characters watch. Apparently, Nihei's fans were so excited by the cameo that the writer and artist decided to push ahead with a movie, which arrived a good 14 years after the original manga ended. Not that the Blame movie is exactly the same as the comic, of course. For one, Nihei's stark and detailed hand-drawn artwork has been replaced with CGI. For another, Nihei took the opportunity to streamline the plot, making it much easier to follow. If you've enjoyed Knights of Sidonia, or you just want to see what this Nihei guy is all about, the Blame feature film is a perfect introduction. Once you start, you'll be hooked. A Silent Voice might be about adolescents and teenagers, but don't mistake it for a children's film. It includes frank and brutal depictions of childhood bullying, as its protagonist Shoya torments a deaf and mute girl, Shoko, so terribly that they both end up becoming social outcasts. Its characters are depressed, isolated, and consumed by self-loathing. It's heavy stuff. It's also the sort of story that could only be told using animation. As Shoya, now in high school, reaches out to Shoko to try to make amends, director Naoko Yamada employs all kinds of visual tricks to get inside both teenagers' heads. Critics heaped praise on the movie, and many proclaimed A Silent Voice one of the most nuanced and authentic depictions of bullying you can find, animated or otherwise. It's not an easy topic to digest, but if you stick with it, you'll find that A Silent Voice rewards you for your effort. For one thing, you'll never look at bullies the same way again. The Seven Deadly Sins can be confusing. It takes place in a world called Britannia, which is kinda like real-life Britain, except it isn't. And despite their name, the Seven Deadly Sins are actually the good guys. Meanwhile, references to Christianity and Arthurian legends are everywhere, but don't really have anything to do with their source material. Characters' backstories are full of obscure connections and surprise reveals, and for some reason, there's a talking pig. And you know what? Absolutely none of that matters. Like many other films based on popular serialized anime series, you don't really watch Prisoners of the Sky for the plot. You watch it for the action. If you're familiar with the show, you'll marvel at the way the movie's bigger budget breathes new life into the series' signature moves. If you're not, well, buckle up. The Seven Deadly Sins, the movie, is a wild ride. It may not have much of an impact on the Seven Deadly Sins' ongoing storyline, but who cares? Sometimes you just want to see cool anime dudes hit demons with swords. By that criteria, The Seven Deadly Sins, the movie, is a complete success. Outside of rare hits and a handful of horror movies and art house favorites, anthology movies haven't really caught on in the West. In the anime industry, they're everywhere, and with good reason. Not only are anthology movies a great way for animation studios to show off what they're capable of, but they're also perfect testing grounds for young directors who need a little more experience before tackling a full feature film. Just take a look at Flavors of Youth to see what we mean. Its first installment, The Rice Noodles, marks the animated film debut of internet celebrity Yi Xiaoxing and features a man reflecting on his teenage years and the food that defined them. The second, A Little Fashion Show, is helmed by Yoshitaka Takeuchi and tells the story of two sisters struggling to get by in the fashion industry. Finally, Love in Shanghai is a time-crossing love story about two teens who record notes to each other on audio tapes. Like all anthologies, in Flavors of Youth, you'll probably connect with some stories more than others. Still, the variety is part of the fun. Pay attention to those names, too. If Flavors of Youth proves anything, it's that the future of anime is in very good hands. Thanks for watching. Click the links in our video to watch more from Netflix Film Club. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the latest exclusive videos. Plus, hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.